Now, our next guest has had a stellar career, first in rugby league at Leeds Rhinos before moving into coaching England's rugby union side. Along the way, he's made a name for himself fundraising for motor neuron disease to raise awareness of an illness his best friend, former teammate Rob Burrow, is suffering from. With us now, of course, Kevin Sinfield. Kevin, hi, it's great to see you. We all, of course, remember, let's just start with those images of you completing the Leeds Marathon. Unbelievable. Tell me about how you were feeling at the end.
Tired.
Yeah, I bet.
Just we've been able to do some challenges to fundraise over the last couple of years. Unfortunately, Rob hasn't been able to take part, so to be able to do something together, for him to be part of a marathon in his name in Leeds, for us to share in a really special moment at the end, for us to share in just over 4 hours in each other's company, was fantastic, and it was a really special day. 12,500 people ran in Rob's name. 6,500 were competing in their first ever marathon, all inspired by Rob.
What made you pick him up at the end?
We agreed that we'd have a special finish, and it was a really special moment for both of us. The marathon was built on friendship and love and looking after your teammate and looking after your friend, and yeah, it was a really special moment for both of us. For those who don't know and who haven't followed this journey, it's been a real challenging one for Rob and for everyone involved in the MND community. You know, it's been tough to watch and tough to be a part of, but he is the best and biggest warrior I've ever met.
Mm-hmm. You've done a lot for motor neuron disease to raise not just awareness, but a lot of funds as well since. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing.
Yeah, I think when a friend gets diagnosed with a disease like this, you want to try and help, you want to try and do your little bit, and I made a promise to him that by Christmas 2020, he was diagnosed in December 2019, but by Christmas 2020, we'd have some money set aside so that his family was secure for the rest of their lives. And Rob was diagnosed at 37, he had 3 kids under 10. Unfortunately, during 2020, as we all know, we got hit by COVID and lockdown, and that meant I didn't anticipate I would need to run, but I set out then with a team to try and run and raise some money, and we didn't expect what happened. We were completely overwhelmed, but it meant we raised a lot more than we expected, and we were able to use that to help the MND community. And I think what comes on the back of that is you start to give a community that's been ravaged and devastated for decades some hope, and that led to 2 further challenges which I've loved being a part of. And what it's enabled our team to do is have interactions with the MND community and build some really strong connections, and that's been a pleasure, because these families are the best of us, and they've been challenged in the most horrific way, yet have a spirit and a fight about them that is really, really special.
Tell us how your friendship has progressed and developed.
Well, we've been friends for a long time. I first met Rob when I was 14 and he was 12. And we'd both agreed professional contracts at the Leeds Rhinos in Rugby League. Then, when we both got into the first team, we sat alongside each other for 15 years in the dressing room. We shared in some incredible moments as part of a team that won a lot of trophies, but also went through a lot of adversity together as part of that team. And I think then you finish playing and players go on their own new path. But when something like this happens, when you've gone through being part of such a strong team, when something tragic like this happens, you come together and you try and help, and that's what our group have tried to do.
Mm. You have spoken previously about how your relationship with Rob inspired your career change to become a coach.
Yeah, definitely. He's inspired me in so many different ways. So I think when I go and see him, I get a great deal of perspective, and I get a real mix of emotions. I'm uplifted, I'm inspired, yet I'm really sad at what this disease has done. And Rob certainly taught me I needed to live my life and take some risk and be prepared to be uncomfortable, because he's uncomfortable every single day, and as is this community. And actually, I want to make the most of my life. I felt that after the first challenge, I got a real sense of purpose and fulfilment from trying to help people. And I thought the best way I can perhaps use that in my role or in my next job would be to use my experience as a rugby player to try and help people on the field. And yeah, that's where I am now.
I'm sure you touch on that in the book, don't you? Tell us about the book.
Yeah, so I never wanted to write a book, and I don't particularly like running, and I found myself over the last 3.5 years
Doing both.
I've wrote a book, and then much of it is about the running we've undertaken. I think over the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, we've run 37, 38 marathons now, and many of them for Rob and for the M&D community. So I didn't want to write a typical sports person's book, you know, a typical autobiography. It needed to be different, and I was conscious when I retired from playing rugby that rugby wouldn't define the rest of my life. I was 35 and didn't quite know what path I was going to go down next, but Rob has certainly inspired me to go in a different direction, and I think because of that, you know, that's why I agreed to do the book. And I say agreed, it was Rob's idea.
Was it?
Rob wrote his own, and then 18 months ago said, Kev, you need to do a book. And that's how it started.
Okay. So you coach rugby union, but you played rugby league.
Yes.
How does he feel about you changing codes?
The beautiful thing about Rob is he wants the best for me, and he'd support me no matter where or what I did. He understands that how important coaching is. He was a coach himself, and actually to go and take some risk, be uncomfortable, try something new. He's 100% behind it. What I would say is, working in rugby union, working with, I was originally with Leicester Tigers, and now I'm with England. The players, the spectators, the sponsors, the coaches I work with are unbelievable people, and I feel very, very fortunate.
Which code do you prefer?
To play rugby league, to coach rugby union.
It's the right answer. How much money have you raised for M&D?
Well, the team, and I'm going to say the team, I think we are over £8 million now.
Amazing work. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
Thank
Thanks
you.
very much. And the book's called The Extra Mile.
It is, yeah.
Amazing. It's good to see you. Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much.